Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to my show. All right, welcome back to my cold shop. Today we're going to get back on this fuel sending unit that I troubleshot in a previous video. Should pop up here somewhere for those of you all watching this on PCs or other smart devices. But I'll pop up a little segment here to kind of do a little review. But I did some troubleshooting, and the problem I had was my gas gauge no longer registers full when it is in fact full. And via troubleshooting, I determined that the gauge was good, the wiring from the gauge to the sender was good, the power to the gauge was good, and that the problem was actually in the sender, and in more specifically in the float of the sender. The float has gas in it, and makes it heavier so it won't raise as high. So anyway, I tried to find the hole in it, and depending upon how long this goes, I may play with it some more. And I was faced with the choice of, should I just get a float or should I go with a whole new sender? I decided to go with a whole new sender. This is an aftermarket one. The original one that was in here was long gone and not good. I mean, it was there, but it just wasn't good. So this aftermarket sender is oh shoot, I'll have to check my my records, but I think it's going on about 10 years old. So anyway, so we're just going to swap the whole sender. So stay tuned and let's get busy. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the key on and watch how high see how high it registers. I just put 10 gallons of gas in this thing and topped it plumb off. Oh, radio is on. And you see it's only registering barely over half a tank. So here's the problem I'm experiencing. 5/16 wrench will take the sender lead off. And I believe we need 1/2 inch. If you watched the previous episode where I troubleshot this, you can see what that I use 1/2 inch wrench to and I believe that's a 9/16 to break the fuel line off. And doesn't drain any. All right. Well, nothing wants to work in the cold. And I pulled the float off, and it's definitely heavier. All right. All right, for grins and giggles, we're going to compare the old to the new. All right, this is empty tank. We're reading about 3.5 ohms, okay? Lift the arm up. Full tank. Keeps going. 33.2, somewhere around in there. Maybe, yeah, 33.2. All right. So it's a 0 to 30 ohm sender. So that's what the old one shows. And empty showing about 3.0. All right, now let's try the new one, or compare the new one. All right, empty, we're looking at about 2.5, just a little bit lower. And let's go start going up. 33. So basically, it's reading close enough to the same to where the rheostat in the old sender's probably good, and my problem just lie in the lay in that float. All right, not the same. Now I've got a full tank, so I should know pretty quick whether or not I've got a correct reading. Anyway, all right, just to prove to you, yes, you see that? I don't know if you can tell, that fuel level is totally top, and that's a bubble or reflection you see floating around. Yeah. Okay. See, it's gone now. All right, so it's definitely a full tank. Let's put the new sender in. See, it's probably shining on you. Let's clean him up just a little bit. Now, it's funny, this gasket really only goes on one way. So you got to make sure you get all your holes lined up. There we go. All right. I had to turn my cover around. So, because every time I go to look, my bill would stop me. So anyway, all right. He's lined up exactly how he should be. And I know he should go this way. Get him down in there first. We don't want to mess the gasket up, which we're about to do. Yeah. Now let's try it again. Make sure we get that lined up exactly where we want. And I already made a mistake. There. Okay. Those holes lined up. Yes, they are. Okay. I'm doing these by hand. Don't want to cross thread them or anything. Only run a tap down this dude, not with a full tank of gas. All right. All right. Before I hook up the electric wire, that's not exactly lining up like the other one did. But there is no problem. Oh, they have a plug to where if you still use your bottom feed, you can use this as a sender. This plug will plug off the fuel line, and you can still take your fuel off the bottom. That's pretty slick. All right, we got him all back in and adjusted to where I'm reading 30 ohms on the terminal here without the wires connected on this full tank. All right, so let's see what my gauge shows us here. All right. And he's not all the way over, but I'm going to guess there's a possibility that since this is a 12-volt conversion, it may be affecting it a little bit. But that is that's about as full as it ever showed, so that's good. All right, I believe we're in business. Now, of course, I'll monitor it as it as I drive it and the gas goes down, and I just keep track of mileage, but I'll be curious. I almost feel like I should take a jug of gas with me and run this thing out just to see where it shows. I don't know. 150 miles, I'm looking for a gas tank. Anyway, gas station. All right, the final test is starting and running. She's cold. She hadn't started in a day, so let's see. Been cold. We're going to let her run a while, make sure it's going to run all the fuel out of the carburetors, and that it is actually getting fuel through that sock in the new sender and all the way up. Now, with the engine running, it's covering the diode of F, so it's actually moved up further. I wonder if it was just because the battery may be a little bit low. But it's definitely on full now. I'll show you what the gauge is showing now. So he's actually covering the little dot on full. So maybe the battery was a little lower. All right. I'm definitely getting 30 ohms right now with that full gas tank. Well, I guess the other vitals. Still charging a little bit. All right. About 600 RPM, about 650 RPM. Like I say, it's been cold. All right, we got that sender in, and so far I'm now reading a full tank with a full tank. So we'll see how it does as the tank goes down. I don't know if it's better to know if you got a full tank or if you're getting close to empty. I don't know. I guess we'll see. But I do know that at 150 miles, I'm looking for a gas station. So I have taken it to 180. And it probably may do over that, but generally around 150 I'm looking. The bottom of that tank is as clean as anything new, because that was a new tank that I put in it. The old tank, I had it cleaned several times. Well, one time I had it steam cleaned out of the radiator place, and it just kept clogging up the fuel filters even afterwards. So I just said, heck with it. New fuel tank. Matter of fact, anytime I get something that's old, and especially something that's sat around a long time, I'm looking to replace the tank, and that just stems a whole lot of future problems. So anyway, so we're good to go. Refer back to my video a couple weeks before this. I did put a link up there. And I'll put a link in the description, and that shows how I troubleshot the knowing that I had a sender problem, and actually knowing that I had a float problem in the sender. So I want to give a shout out to the aftermarket provider that I bought it from, Classic Parts, not a sponsor. But reason why I'm giving them a shout out is back when I troubleshot this thing, I went ahead and made the decision just to order the whole sender as opposed to just the float. And so I ordered it from Classic Parts, and they give you an email to show they received it, and they give you another email to show they ship it. Well, I guess it was about 3 days later, I got an email from UPS stating that it was delivered at my front door. So I went to my front door. And lo and behold, there's nothing there. I said, well, maybe they meant the back door. So I went and looked at my garage back door. Nope. And I know they wouldn't have went to my den back door because they would have had to gone up steps. They generally will either put it at the front door or in front of my garage door. It's at neither spot. Check the bushes, check the yard. Nope. Check the two neighbors on either side. Nope. Well, if they did deliver it, put it at somebody's front door, it wasn't mine. So I waited till the end of the day thinking, well, maybe he scanned it too soon and he'll just get to it, because generally the UPS guy around here is pretty good. And well, at the end of the day, it wasn't here. And so I called UPS and opened up a claim ticket stating, hey, it said it's here and it's not. So they, this is all online. So I got an email verifying that I did turn in a claim, gave me a number and all this good stuff, and that they would get back to me. Well, a couple, 2-3 days went by and I hadn't heard a peep. So I went to their website, registered, logged on, went and looked up my ticket number, and it said that they had turned it over to the shipper, to the provider. Well, that's Classic Parts. So I called Classic Parts and I told them, I said, look, I opened up a ticket with UPS because they said it was delivered. It's not here, never got it. And the gal I talked to said she would get with her supervisor and get back to me. Well, it was the next day they got back to me and told me that they had opened up a ticket with UPS and they're trying to trace it. I said, well, that's fine. I said, but I really need that sender. I said, if you don't mind, you could possibly refund me or send me another one. Either or, it's acceptable. But I have a feeling I'm never going to see that first one you ship. So she said, all right, we'll get back to you. So it was a day, and I got an email from them stating they were going to ship me another one. And then I got a voice. They called my home phone and left me a voicemail. And 3 days later, I got it. With the stipulation that I contact them if the other one does eventually show up, and they'll set up a return for it. I said, okay, that's fine. So that's a shout out. They did make good. It's not their fault that UPS lost it wherever in the world they did, and I hope there's some way they can get some kind of retribution from UPS on it. So anyway, shout out to Classic Parts. Well, let's see. Now we're looking at, what do I want to do? Do I want to check my timing and carburetor settings? Or do I want to crawl underneath here and start greasing up the transmission and rear end and everything? I ain't getting underneath this thing. So I think I'm going to check all the timing and all them settings. Something that I can do standing up. So anyway, we're going to get back, and there'll be some more coming up after this. So stay tuned and watch for upcoming spine-tingling episodes on the service of this thing. So I hope everything's going good with you and yours. Everything's going great here. Can't complain. Won't do me no good to complain anyway. I guess I could complain a little bit that it's cold and it's rainy. So much so that I can't even have a little fun on a cruise. Well, I guess I could, but it's just no fun cruising around in a rainstorm. So anyway, so have a good one, and I hope to see you around on the next one. See you.